What is going on with your YouTube? This is your man, King Howie, back with another video. And let's get straight into this shit. I was thinking, LeBron James' career, how it started off with the Cleveland Cavaliers, then the whole decision of him going to South Beach to play for the Miami Heat, where he went to 4 championships and won 2 out of those 4. And then he leaves Miami, comes back to the Cleveland Cavaliers to win a championship and goes to the finals 4 times with the Cleveland Cavaliers. And it just seems like Kevin Durant is kind of doing the same thing. Kevin Durant played with the Oklahoma City Thunder, had some problems with Russell Westbrook, getting too much favoritism, not only from Billy Donovan, the coach at the time, and upper management and the owner, and he winds up losing to the Golden State Warriors in the Western Conference Finals, where they were leading that the Western Conference Finals 3-1, and then the 73-9 Golden State Warriors came back to beat them and went on to lose the championship to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Then the following year, KD decides to not re-sign with the Oklahoma City Thunder, and he goes to the Warriors, where he wins his first ring and wins back-to-back MVPs and back-to-back titles. Not to mention, LeBron's first championship ring was against Kevin Durant, where he sent Kevin Durant crying into the arms of his mom. And now we are at the point in time where it looks like Kevin Durant is getting ready to leave the Golden State Warriors after an altercation in a basketball game with his teammate Draymond Green, aka Donkey Green. And now with the Warriors losing back-to-back games, it just kind of feels like we're watching the same situation like we did with LeBron James. Now we're doing it with Kevin Durant. Durant wins 2 titles. Who knows if he'll go back to Oklahoma, or will he come to the Lakers? I don't think Kevin Durant will come to the Lakers. I have a feeling that he might go back to OKC and try to win the title there, along with Westbrook and Paul George. That's the name I was thinking of. Paul George and Steven Adams and Dennis Schroeder. But who knows if that will happen, if there's any type of reconciliation of Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant's relationship. Who knows how strong it is now. There's been reports that the two have been talking and have settled their differences in the past. But as far as him coming to the Lakers, I don't know how that will work. If he does, then it'd be a shot back at the Warriors. But I'm hearing that the Warriors are trying to keep Kevin Durant there because they're opening up a new arena, and they want Kevin Durant to be a part of that. As far as Draymond Green goes, the Warriors are putting him on ice. They have came out and said that Draymond Green has a toe injury. After all that shit that went on between Draymond Green and Kevin Durant, and we've been sitting up here listen or hearing in sports media about Draymond calling him a bitch and you can leave. We don't need you. We won a title without you. Knowing that it was Draymond Green who was the one who was sitting in the parking lot crying with a towel over his head after LeBron and the Cavaliers beat them, coming back from being down 3-1 in the finals. He calls up Kevin Durant. We need you, KD. KD, we need you over here. We need you, KD. And now we don't need you. We was winning championships without you. You a bitch. You always been a bitch. The NBA is just so funny, man. I think it's funnier than the NFL. So now it looks like, KD, he wears a chip on his shoulder. He's one of those guys that if you do something, if you do him wrong, he's going to separate himself from you. And it seems like that's what's going to happen. I mean, just losing these two back-to-back games, they lost to the Mavericks and they lost to the Clippers. And Kevin Durant hasn't hit a three-point shot in the last 3 games they played. And of course, Draymond was sat out a game with no pay for conduct detrimental to the team. And who knows how much that's going to affect Draymond Green's resume. He's trying to be re-signed by the Golden State Warriors, but that's not until maybe another year or two from now. And he's looking at that $230 million contract and trying to add another Defensive Player of the Year accolade to his resume. But, with the whole incident with Steve Kerr, he didn't get suspended or fined for that. And now this incident with KD, and without Steph Curry being there, being injured, it just looks like the Golden State Warriors has lost the nostalgia that, made them who they are. I mean, for me, I could honestly tell you, if I'm KD and I'm sitting on the bench or coming to a game or coming to practice and I have to see the guy that disrespected me publicly in a game in front of teammates and call me out my name, I'm not going to feel right about playing a game. My mind's not going to be there. I'm not going to be very interacted into the game, let alone trying to be competitive and let my teammates know that I'm mentally ready. It's just, I don't know, man. It's just weird. I just know for me personally, if I'm having problems like that, you kind of separate yourself from the situation entirely. And that means, it's probably quiet in the locker room. Dudes are not talking. KD probably in his own little world. We already know Klay Thompson is in his own little world. Who knows if he's going to be there next year. But it just seems like Kevin Durant is following in the same footsteps as LeBron James and getting less criticism for it. I mean, yeah, people criticize him going to the Warriors after the Warriors beat him in the Western Conference Finals. And now that he's with the team, he goes to the team, people is like, oh, this is the worst move in NBA history. It's a weak move. It's a weak move. And LeBron James still get criticized for going to the Miami Heat, who didn't even make the playoffs when he went there. This whole super team thing is just getting a little out of control. I wouldn't consider the Miami Heat a super team. I just wouldn't consider it a super team. When LeBron James went to Miami Heat, people, oh, this is a super team. No. The reason why they called it a super team is because the hype that LeBron James built around it. They had they had a concert. Them coming out there introducing themselves as the The Miami Heat, they had new jerseys and not one, not two, not three, not four, not five. That whole thing that went down. Durant didn't do that when he came over there to the Warriors. He didn't go out there in new snazzy uniforms and talking about we're gonna win one, two, three, four. He didn't do anything like that. I just think the hype machine built it up to LeBron and the Miami Heat being this super team. I still don't consider them being a super team. You can't be a super team losing to the Mavericks and Dirk Nowitzki the first year. You can't be a super team with Dwayne Wade sitting out 30, 40 games. I will say that they added special pieces to the squad like Ray Allen and Birdman that made huge contributions in the game. But you can't call that you can't call a Miami Heat a super team. That's just not fair. But what Kevin Durant did, you can't even call the Warriors a super team until Durant got there. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. The first game, the first finals that the Warriors went to, Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving wasn't available. They were hurt. So you could just kind of chop that up to the injuries being the definitive factor of the Warriors winning that. Then, the second year come around in the finals between the Warriors and the Cavaliers. And, of course, LeBron and them came back once they were healthy enough to compete. And then, a lot of people will say the suspension of Draymond Green, played a huge role into that. And it probably did. It probably did. But until Durant got there, then you could say they were a super team because that's when Curry won a back-to-back MVPs. And then, they add Durant over there, who's a former MVP, four-time scoring title champion. And that's when you can consider them being a super team. But who knows where Kevin Durant is going to go next? A lot of people are saying the New York Knicks. A lot of people are saying the Lakers is on his list, and but I would like to see Kevin Durant go back to Oklahoma City to go play with the Thunder. Who knows how much money they have in cap space to get him? They probably don't after paying Russell Westbrook $200 million. And I think they got to pay Steven Adams too. And they just gave Paul George a big contract. I think $190 million. So they pockets might be a little tight. The Lakers have cap room. The only thing I'm not going to like about Durant coming to play with the Lakers is the criticism from the fans. The fans speak in volumes more than, sports media journalists and people on TV like Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp and Max Kellerman and Dan Patrick and Dan Lebitard, and Rob Parker. Those guys, the fans, the community of Laker fans and Golden State Warrior fans, they're going to speak in volumes. And that's what you're going to see most of is fans talking. So it just seems like deja vu, knowing what LeBron did, and now KD's doing it, Oh, and you see Kyrie Irving doing it. It's just funny. It's just funny to see what these NBA superstars, dictating their own path and legacy and career moves is just following the footsteps of LeBron James. So, I don't know, man. Interesting to see what KD is going to do this offseason. If he's going to opt in and stay and play out the last year of his contract and try to, win four in a row if they win it this year. Right now it's early in the season with this whole Draymond Green and Kevin Durant situation. I'm pretty sure they're going to talk it out and hash it out and be on the same page, but Kevin Durant ain't gonna never forget what he did. So all we could do is watch and see how things are gonna play out. It's your man King Howie. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment, and I'm out.